Hi there, it's Brother Charles from Reviewer's Revival, continuing on with part 2 of our investigative look into Mixcraft Pro Studio 6. At this time, let's take a look at the options and preferences available to you in Mixcraft. This button, represented with a gear icon, gives you access to the multiple values that you can control within Mixcraft. Beginning with the sound device area, you'll note that I have WaveRT selected as opposed to the normal Windows Wave Driver or ASIO. Some pronounce it ASIO. The beautiful thing about WaveRT is that it is a Windows-specific hardware direct access mode that allows you to have low latency and excellent performance with most nearly any generic sound card or embedded sound chip. Now, the advantage to this over something, for instance, like ASIO for All is that it is more highly optimized and does not require an abstract layer such as ASIO for All uses. This is a 6-year-old dual-core AMD system that I'm using. It's really not a very powerful computer, but it is my reviewing computer. So you'll notice that I have it set to a latency value of 40 milliseconds. On my production machine, when I choose not to use my Focusrite 2i4 audio interface, I can set that as low as 3 milliseconds while I'm tracking, and I haven't any latency issues that are noticeable, neither have I performance issues. As the tracks build, sometimes you will have to increase the latency value. Exclusive mode means that the software is accessing your hardware device directly. It does so exclusively so that no other device, no other program rather, can access that device while it's in use by the audio program. Generally, Mixcraft uses the highest sample rate or the highest bit depth that's being configured for your audio interface or your audio device. In my case, I have this computer set to use a maximum value of 44.1 kilohertz. This computer can go up to 48,000, but I prefer to use 44 since it's a little lower on CPU consumption. On any ASIO interface, your bit depth can be configured between 16, 24, or 32. As long as the hardware supports values of 48, 96, or 192 kilohertz, you can by all means set that. Moving along to the general preferences area, this is where we can select the language that the interface is using, or rather is read in, your temporary files directory, as well as the ability to delete your temporary files. If you have an external wave editor, for example Acon Digital Acoustica 5 Premium, you can select the executable for that program by browsing for it on your file system, locating it, and instantiating it. Just like that. Now, whenever you would like to edit a segment of audio that you've recorded, you can do so without exiting the Mixcraft program and use your external editor. The Display tab gives you the option of being able to change your volume levels to be represented or displayed in decibel format or in percentages. You can also change your track default color and many other options. The interface options give you the ability to change whether or not you would have auto-scrolling during playback or to keep the playback indicator centered at all times. The mouse wheel preference area allows you to configure how the mouse wheel will work for zooming, scrolling horizontally as well as vertically. Project defaults can be set in place. You'll notice here that every time I save a project, the author will always be listed as Reviewer's Revival with the copyright information, your default tempo, key signature, and time signature. The Recording Preferences panel allows you to configure the default project folder. You can also set whether or not you want your audio track default recording mode to be in overdub mode, a new take, or to replace what's already being recorded. Typical uncompressed WAV files, usually in 32-bit float, are the default. Or if you don't suspect that you will be editing your recorded audio, you can also use the compressed OGG Vorbis file format. this is great, especially for laptop or netbook users who have minimal hard drive space available to them. Metronome options are very much as you would expect, as are the MIDI control features. There is a CD burning engine built right into Mixcraft. You can either choose the robust Primo, Golden Hawk, or Windows Standard iMappy formats. The Library Preferences area is where you locate the library directory that you choose to use within Mixcraft. You can choose CacheFly or Acoustica download locations. The Plugins Preferences area is where you tell Mixcraft that you would like to load or not load DirectX effects, to load or not load VST effects and instruments. You can edit your VST folder location, add as many different folder locations as you desire, and optionally, rescan all VST plugins. It should be noted that when you start Mixcraft, it will automatically do this for you. So if you have installed a new VST instrument or VST plugin, Mixcraft will see it and add it to the list automatically. Something that's very nice about Mixcraft is that you can enable rewire hosting. That completes the Mixcraft Preferences overview.